Hey guys, it's Stephen from Tech Modified, and today we're here in the workshop with another review. We are going to be checking out the Gamidas Hermes P1 RGB mechanical gaming keyboard. Let's check it out. The Gamidas Hermes P1 is an RGB aluminium backplated mechanical gaming keyboard with blue switches. But with so many mechanical gaming keyboards on the market today, let's see how the Hermes stacks up. Now out of the box, the Hermes feels very nice and solid. I have a big weakness for anything brushed aluminium, and this is no exception. It looks absolutely stunning. The keycaps really contrast to this and really almost look like they're floating on the keyboard. The keyboard comes ready to plug and play, however it also does include this quick attach wrist rest. Now I'll talk about this wrist rest a little bit later, however I'm not too much of a fan. To me it doesn't sit nicely with the keyboard, and it also feels a little bit on the cheaper side. Now once you plug the keyboard in, the most noticeable feature is the brightly lit RGB LED keys. The colouring is entirely customizable, letting you choose exactly the type of look that you do want. And because the keys stand off slightly more than the average keyboard, it almost creates a halo effect around the keys. Going over some of the specifications of the Hermes P1, with the wrist rest attached, the Hermes is 448mm wide, 202.4mm deep, and 36.9mm thick. Without the wrist rest, it is only 156.6mm deep. The cable is a lengthy 1.8 meters with a USB interface. Gamidas uses a Cortex M3 processor in their keyboards, and this allows the keyboard to use multiple buffers, ensuring that every key press is sent in real time. There is absolutely no delay. The keyboard also supports preset macros along the 1 to 6 keys located across the top of the keyboard. These work exactly the same as other macros, but can be configured in advance. For those of you who are not aware, Cherry MX switches are actually a little bit cheaper to manufacture than the blue switches, and Gamidas manufactures their own blue switches in-house, allowing them to produce a high quality keyboard for such a low price. These blue switches are also easily recognizable by their signature audible clicking sound. However, this is also something for people who need a quiet environment to take note of. Now another great feature about this keyboard, even though you do have your Hera software, which we'll get to in a second, you can also manually change everything through the keyboard itself, including the RGB lighting. The insert key shows a wave effect, the home key changes the direction, page up and page down speeds up the actual light motions, whilst the delete key shows a rotating effect. Now moving on to the Hera software, it's definitely not the most polished user interface out there, however it is still quite functional. It allows you to be able to remap any of your keys, set your macros, and also of course play around with your RGB lighting in great detail. Now sometimes when trying out new keyboards, it often feels like the left shoe is on the right foot, however this was not the case with the Hermes. It felt very natural, allowing my key presses to flow with my first person shooters and other games as well. And this is really where the switch choice and processor choice made by Gamidas has come into play. I opted not to actually use the quick attach wrist rest. I found it more natural sitting without it, however I believe that is personal choice. The Gamidas Hermes P1 RGB mechanical gaming keyboard retails at $119. It's elegant and simple with a lot of flexibility to be able to adapt it to your gaming needs. So check it out guys, the Gamidas Hermes P1 RGB mechanical gaming keyboard.